Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. I'm a Christian, and for some reason I'm drawn to and feel Ram as the Divine Father and see no contradiction. Is it fine if I do not have any concept of Ram, but I chant his name always? Maharaj-ji said one thing to us that was life-changing. Sab ek, all one. Many names, many forms, many paths, all one. There's only one thing going on here. Different cultures call it by different names. They conceive of it differently, different conceptuality in the mind, but underneath the thoughts, it's all the same. The one living being, truth, reality, real love lives in all of our hearts. And it's beyond name and form, but we can call it whatever we want to call it. Don't get stuck in this stuff. Don't get stuck in thinking there's only all these ways are different. They may look different to us because we see differences everywhere, but they're not different. What Jesus realized is the same thing that the yogis in India realized, that the Zen Buddhists realized, that the Tibetan Buddhists realized, that the Sufis realized, that the Muslims realized, that the real Christians realize. They don't get stuck in the forms, in the difference of the forms. It's just names. And then they're all the names of the same thing, which is our own true nature. So don't worry about that stuff. Follow your heart and be happy. You know, how's that? Do I have any recommendation for an instrument store in Delhi? Are you in Delhi? If you're in India, I don't know. You know, Bina music. My harmonium is from Bina, but it's very old. There's also a place, Ricky Ram on Chandni. Ricky Ram is. I don't think Ricky Ram's in Chandni Chowk. That's Bina music. Ricky Ram's somewhere near Connaught Circus. Yeah. You might find something good enough to play there. They're not the best quality, but they're certainly good to play. Make sure they tune them for you really well. If you're in Delhi, if you're in the West, then I would get in touch with David Estes, and his Ragmala harmoniums are very good, very, very, very good. Okay. Do I ever rearrange my puja wall over here? I'm too lazy. Once it goes up, it's just kind of there forever. Every once in a while, I add a couple of things and put some new pictures up, or take some old ones down and replace them. But, you know. Am I adhering to some rule? God forbid. Do I plan on recording Om Hum Hanumate? Yes, I do. And that's, like I told you before, that melody for that mantra is from Boris, my friend Boris Grubenchikov. And I'm certainly going to record it as soon as I can. And also the Loka Samasta prayer that I've been singing and will usually end with. Can I record a long version of Jaya Bhagavan? I don't know. Maybe. Can you elaborate in retrospect on the dream you once had with Maharaj-ji when, let's see if I can remember the dream. We were in a house somewhere together, and in India, I believe. And Maharaj-ji wanted to escape. He always liked to run away. Or I don't know if he liked to run away, but he ran away. And people were always trying to keep him there. Like they would lock the doors and he would just be outside. The locked doors never bothered him. So they had put us in a room, I think, upstairs or in the house. And so he said, he started to run down the hallway and they were chasing us. And at the end of the hall, there was a window. And he jumped up on the ledge of the window. It was in the second floor of the house. He jumped up on the second floor of the window. Oh yeah, now I'm remembering why. And he jumped down. And he landed on his feet and he looked up at me like, okay, and what are you gonna do? So I got up on the window ledge and I jumped down, and in fact, I did a somersault and landed on my feet. And we ran off together into the woods laughing, and it was such a great feeling. It was a great feeling. Later in the dream, he was giving darshan in the jungle, I think, and there was a clearing and there were many people sitting around him. And he would point to a place on the ground. He would point. And so when somebody there would like dig where he pointed, and they would find jewels, real jewels, like rubies, emeralds, things like that. And he'd point like this and everybody would go and they would find all this stuff, all over. And then he points over to where I'm sitting. And I reached into the ground and I pulled out a huge diamond, like this big, a huge diamond. And he kind of looked at me again like, yeah, now what are you gonna do? So I took the diamond, I threw it up in the air, and everybody, all the other people went running to get it. And he and I ran away and disappeared into the jungle together. What a great feeling that was. What a great feeling. I finally did something right, even if it was a dream. That was a great. So I have no, it seemed like he was not testing me, but teasing me. Okay, you want this? You want this? Yeah, can you do that? Can you jump out the window and to follow me? And do you want the diamond or are you going to follow me? And there was no question about it. I wanted to follow him. What's a diamond? Any tips on how to stay kind in relationships? Oh my. Well, why should it be hard to stay kind? If you're in a relationship with somebody, there must be some affection there. You must have some caring for that person. Now, of course, relationships are really good for showing us where we're screwed up. They push all our buttons. They make us defensive. They make us upset, angry. So many things happen in relationships. But if you want to stay in a relationship, you have to develop some communication. There's no sense just being like a planet in space orbiting around somebody and they're orbiting around you and there's no communication. That's hardly a relationship, but sometimes it's the best people can do. But the question is how to stay kind. So if you want to stay kind, first of all, you have to be kind. And you might find it hard to be kind because we're very hard on ourselves. So if we're hard on ourselves, if we don't have kindness and compassion for ourselves and our own stuff, we really can't be kind for other people. We can pretend to be kind, which is what most of us do. But real kindness comes from recognizing that we're all in this together. We're all here together in this world. And all of our actions are very powerful. So, yeah. So try to unwind your knee-jerk reactions that you're having with your partner and recognize that your partner's only fulfilling a role for you. Those reactions are not really in relation to that person. They're in relation to what you see as that person. And you see that person through your own stuff, your own attachment, your own greed, your own lust, your own anger, your own selfishness, your own shame, your own fear. That's what you're looking through. That's the glasses we're wearing when we look out at the outside world. So we're not really seeing who anybody is. We're only seeing our version. So if we're not kind, if we're having trouble being kind to our version, it means because we're not kind to ourselves. So it's good work. Can you tell more about Baba and Christianity? I don't know about Baba and Christianity. I know about Baba and Jesus Christ. He loved Jesus. And he said, Hanuman, Krishna, and Christ are the same. But when he spoke about Jesus, he got especially juicy, especially deep. It was quite amazing. And I've said many times how one day, he had told someone to meditate like Christ. So later in the day, he came in the back of the temple to give darshan to us Westerners. And Ram Dass asked him, Baba, you said we should meditate like Christ. How did he meditate? I mean, it was a good question. So Maharaj-ji, it looked like he was about to say something in response to that, but then he just stopped and his eyes closed. And he just disappeared. And the vibe was so intense. It felt like the whole world stopped turning. And it was so powerful. And then 2 tears came down his cheek. He kind of shook himself and he opened his eyes and he said, he lost himself in love. That's how he meditated. He lost himself in love. He never died. No one understands. He's one with all beings. He lost himself in love, immersed himself in love. So, Christianity is a religion. Jesus was dead. 100 years before there was any organization, at least. So, two different things. Can I explain about free will? And this is big time stuff, you know. I'm not qualified to talk about this stuff, but that never stopped me. You know, do we really have free will? Well, let's see. That would mean that on one level, we have freedom to make choices, right? I want ice cream. Okay, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to some place where there's vegan ice cream and I'm going to eat ice cream. That's my choice. I want to watch TV. That's my choice. I want to be vegetarian. That's my choice. I want to have a relationship. That's my choice. I want this. I want that. I'm going to go here. We have lots of choices we make all day long. So on one level, yeah, we have the freedom to make all these choices. Are those choices free? Are they conditioned responses to situations that arise? A free choice is a free choice. It means it's coming from a harmonious place, and it's not a response or a reaction to a situation or something that happens, inside or outside. Free will would mean that we could do anything, but we can't do anything. Our own desires, our own hang-ups, our own stuff, we're carrying all that with us all the time. Those programs, and that limits us severely as to what we see as possibilities for our life. We don't even see many of the things that we might be able to see. And so the choices we make are not actually free. It's like somebody says, I'm free, I can smoke cigarettes if I want. Yes, you can. Definitely you can. But if it was a free choice, why would you do something that you know is going to kill you in advance or earlier than later? Why would you do something that you know is going to give you cancer? They've proven that. There's no way that that's a free, harmonious choice, because you're creating suffering for yourself and the people you leave behind, the grief of the people that you die from cancer, lung cancer at an early age or whatever. So that's not a free choice, but it is a choice. And you're free to make that choice in this world. But that is a conditioned response to self-hatred and not wanting to be here and not being able to deal with things. You're doing something that you know is going to kill you and cause suffering for you and others, and yet you do it anyway. Not free, but a choice. So, free will they say that even babies do not enter this world a blank slate. They have their own karmic seeds in there that are going to grow and have a tremendous amount of effect on what kind of life a person will be, and how they see the world, how they see themselves, where they're born, who their parents are, what happens to them. People, we don't come into this world of a free thing and then pick up all the nonsense. We already come in with karmas. That's what they say. So to become free means to find a way to not be pushed around by your own karmas, by your own beliefs and your own thoughts and your own emotions and the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves. If we can overcome the identification with all the negative thought stuff, then we might have some freedom to move in the right direction towards more freedom. But we don't want to work on ourselves. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to look at our stuff. We want to get pleasure and want to be happy, and we don't want to deal with the shit. So it keeps pushing us around. And it will keep pushing us around, apparently, for a long time, unless we deal with it. How important is the whole puja in devotion? If you resonate more with japa, can that just be your main practice? Of course. You do what you want. If you want to do the whole puja, do the whole puja. If you want to do the japa, do the japa. Who's telling you what to do? You have to do what you want to do. That's what you're going to give yourself to. Why force yourself to do things that aren't important to you? If you have a teacher that you respect and that teacher says you should do the whole puja, then that's a whole other story. But if you're more or less on your own and trying to find your way, you have to follow your heart. And even following a teacher is following your heart also, because you've agreed that that being knows more than you, is in a better place than you're at, so to speak, and that being can help you free yourself from suffering. So you're going to follow their advice as best you can. But you're listening to yourself. That's the decision you make. So that's no problem. But do something. How do I progress in mantra chanting? By doing it, by paying attention, by putting the time in every day, some amount of time of practice every day. The best time to practice is when you don't want to practice, when you're all emotional and there's all kinds of things going on. You're angry, you're sad, you're tired, you're this. Just practice 5 minutes. You're gonna feel like shit, guaranteed. Nothing's gonna happen. But the effort you put in at those times really resounds inside. And remember, it's not about what you're experiencing while you're sitting down. That's the time you plant the seeds. The rest of your life is when you when you experience what grows from those seeds, mostly. The practice period is the time when you're actually putting the work in. My friend Bernie Glassman, one of his greatest experiences in the back of a car on the way to work. I mean, this is somebody who would meditate all day in Zen sessions, Zen retreats, all day for days and days and days, for year round. And yet it was when he was in a car that he had one of his deepest experiences. So it's not push a button, have an experience. It's training over time. It's familiarizing ourselves with how it is to let go. Again and again, you just repeat the mantra, you hear it, and you listen to it in your mind. You can repeat it out loud, or you can repeat it mentally, or you can repeat it just humming it very softly, but you're hearing it, or not hearing it physically, but you're listening to it in your mind. You're aware. That's the practice. And just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Do it every day. Am I planning any events in New York City? Yes, tomorrow and Saturday. what do I think about karma? They say only a fully enlightened being can understand karma because it's totally complicated, deep, subtle. Think of your life. Think of everything you've done in your life. Every single thing that you can remember from when you're a kid until right now. Think of everybody you've met. Think of everybody you've talked to. Think of everybody you've walked away from. Think of everybody you've embraced. Think about all the movies you went to, all the television you watched. Think about everything you ate. Think about how much you slept. Think about how many times you got angry, how many times you got full of lust, how many times you got sad, how come every single one of those moments was karma being created and being lived through at the same time, because our reactions, our actions in the moment create more karma. So now think about all the people, everybody's doing that all the time, physically and mentally. Thoughts are karma. They're different than physical actions, but it's also karma. So trying to understand the subtleties and the depth of karma is very deep. There's a book by my friend Robert Svoboda. It's a part of a series called Agora. There's 3 books in the series. The 3rd book is called The Laws of Karma. And it's not like a textbook. It's stories about his teacher and the teachings he received and stories about how karma works. Very interesting, really good, really good. It's a huge subject. But you say, is it just action-reaction? What do you mean by just action-reaction? That's everything. All you do your whole life is react. And then you act. And that's a reaction. And everybody else bouncing off of you and then bouncing off of other people. Everybody's acting, reacting their whole lives, and not with no control, with no awareness, with no kindness or compassion. Full of selfishness and fear and defensiveness and anxiety and depression and longing and anger. We're all full of all this stuff. Amazing that we can never get through a day. But that's the good news. The good news is that we can work with this stuff. And the good news is that we're the same as everybody else. So let's get together. Let's get it together and do some work. Ram Dass said he would communicate with Maharaj-ji. You mean not Maharaj-ji, that's somebody else. Ram Dass said he would communicate with Maharaj-ji after he left the body. Oh, I see what you're saying. That he did communicate with Maharaj-ji after the body. Do you still feel like he's with you? Do you hear him in the silent, still voice within your being? I feel very close to Ram Dass. His presence in my life and in my heart. All I feel is love. Very close. Am I planning any events in New Zealand? I was just thinking about that today, actually. I'd like to get back out there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe next year sometime we can get out that way to Australia, New Zealand. I'd like to get back to Japan too. I do japa silently and feel great joy in my heart, but I just can't do it loudly. Should I try overcoming this block? I don't even know why you think it's a block. You're thinking too much. Do more japa. How do you know when to keep going while leaning on your practice to help you versus when to give up and knowing you deserve to live with ease? How do you know when to keep going? You know, there's a phrase, may your practice be the length of your life. If you're going to live with ease, it's going to be the fruit of practice. Living with ease means you're at ease with whatever arises. If you stub your toe, if you get sick, if someone dies that you're close to, you don't get destroyed by that. You're with it. You don't have to push it away. It doesn't destroy you. You're open to dealing with whatever shows up. You seem to be making a dichotomy that practice is hard and you got to push and try and hurt and blah, 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 or just give up and just deal with everything and be at ease. You can't do either one. That's the problem right now. You can't do your practice fully, nor can you live with ease. So, good luck. What can I tell you? How can I start my journey? You already started. How do I make Lord Krishna happy? When you see everyone as him, that would make him very happy. And you see him in everyone. And he says in the Gita, when he sees me in all and all in me, I never leave him and he never leaves me. So if you want to make Krishna happy, see him in all beings, and you're one of those beings. Okay. That's it. Somebody asked me to sing Arti tonight, and I will. Okay. Guru Charan Saroja Raja Jamana Mukur Sudhari Parano Raghubhara Bimala Jasun Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihin Tanu Janike Samiram Pavan Kumar Balamudi Vidya Dev Mohi Arukale Sabikar Syavara Ramachandra Padaje Sharanam जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहुँ लोक उजागर, रामदूत तुल्य बलधाम, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम, महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संग, कंचन वरण विराज सुबेश, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केश, हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराज, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साज, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिय हिंदकावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे, लाए संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्षि लाए, भूपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई, सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावै, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीस, नारद शारद सहित ईश, यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहांते, कभी को बिद कहि सके कहांते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण मान, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जान, युग सहस्र जो जन पर बान, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जान, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिलि मुख माहि, जलधि लंघि गए अक्षरज नाही, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरण, तुम्हारा चक खाऊ को धरन, अपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीर, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोवे अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास, सदा रहो रघुपति के दास, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, janama janama ke dukha bisarave, anta kala raghuvar pura jai, jahan janama hare vakta kahai, or devata chetana darai, Hanumata se saro sukha kare, sankat kate mite sab pira, jo sumere Hanumata balabira, jai jai Hanuman Gosai, kripa karo Gurudeva kinai, jo satabar patta kar koi, Chutahi bandi mahasukha hoy, hoya pare Hanuman chalisa, hoya siddhi saki garisa, tulsi das sada hari chera, kine nath hriday mandira, pavanatanaya sankataharana, Mangalamurti Rup Siyaram, Rama Lakhana Sita Sahita, Hriday Basau Sura Bhupa, Syavara Ramachandra Bhadaje Sharanam, Mangalamurti Martanandan, Sakala Mangalamulanikanda, Mangalamurti Martananda, Sakala Mangalamulanikanda, Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Ram Jaya Ram 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 Jaya Ram, Siya Ram Jaya Baba Hanuman, Sankata Mochana Kupanidhan, Jai Siya Ram Jaya Baba Hanuman, Sankata Mochana Kupanidhan, Jai Bajranga Bali Hanuman, Karuna Sagara Kupanidhan, Jai Bajranga Bali Hanuman, Karuna Sagara Kupanidhan, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. So the RT means the offering of light, the waving of the lamps, the light. We're offering light to the one who lights up the universe. The Arti is a hymn of praise, but it's also a meditation, it's a visualization. When you know what it means, it opens up your mind to understanding who the Guru is, what the Guru can do. So, I can't sing the translation now, but you can find it on my website. Maybe if we have it, we might be able to put it up in the chat before this is over. But it's a way of developing communion and relationship with the Guru, of finding a connection with your own heart. Jai Jagadisha Hare, hail to the Lord of the universe. Bhakta Janan Ke Sankata, who removes the troubles of the devotees. Dina Janan Ke Sankata, who removes the troubles of humble people. Kshana me dur kare. In a minute, all the suffering is far away. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare. Bhakta Jana Ke Sankata, Dina Jana Ke Sankata, Kshana me dura kare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jo dhyave pallapave, dukha bina se man ka, dukha bina se man ka, sukha sampatti gara ave, sukha sampatti gara ave, kashta mite tanaka. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Mata Pita tum mere sharan gahun ki saki, Swami sharan gahun ki saki, tum bina aur na duja, tum bina aur na duja, aasha karon jisaki. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Purana Paramatma, Tuman Tarayami, Swami Tuman Tarayami, Para Brahma Parameshwar, Para Brahma Parameshwar, Tuma sabba ke Swami. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma karuna ke sagar, Tuma palana karta, Swami Tuma palana karta. Main sevak Tuma Swami, Main sevak Tuma Swami, Kripa karo bharta. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma ho ek agochar, sabke pranapati, Pranavake pranapati. Kisa vidhi milon daya maya, Kisa vidhi milon daya maya, Tumako mein kumati. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Dina bandhu dukkha harta, Tumarakshaka mere, Swami Tumarakshaka mere. Apane haath uthao, Apane haath uthao, Para para tere. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vishaya vikarumitao papaharo deva Swami papaharo deva Shraddha bhakti barhao Shraddha bhakti barhao Santan ki seva Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Prabhu Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakta Janana Ke Sankata Dina Janana Ke Sankata Kshana Me Dura Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Siyavara Ramachandra ki Jai Shri Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki Jai Shri Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Banki Bihari Lal Shri Krishna Baladeva Bhagavan ki Jai Shri Shri Vindhyavasini Durga Devi Shri Siddhima ki Jai Shri 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 Baba Neem Karoli Santa Maharaj ki Jai Sab Santan ki Jai Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 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 If we know anything about our path at all, it's only because of the great beings that have walked it before us. Out of their love, out of their kindness, they left some footprints for us to follow. So in the same way that they wish for us, in the same way that they wish for us, we wish that all beings everywhere, including ourselves, be happy, be safe, that all of us have enough to eat and good health. And may we all live at ease of heart, with whatever comes to us in life. Shanti.